Hi everybody, welcome to Afterburner. I'm Bill Whittle. This is French King Louis XV, also called the Beloved. I have a pair of pajamas just like that at home. What do we know about Louis XV? Well, it's widely agreed that his reign dramatically damaged the power of France. His reckless spending drained the treasury and sharply increased levels of distrust for the government among the common French citizen. His main squeeze, Madame Pompadour, was known for her lavish lifestyle, frequent expensive jaunts, and pricey taste in clothes. His reign has been described as, quote, one of debilitating stagnation, unquote, marked, according to Wikipedia, by lost wars and endless clashes with Parliament. One noted historian called Louis XV a perpetual adolescent called to do a man's job. Just let me know if any of this starts to sound familiar. You know, there's a famous quote attributed to Louis XV. Maybe it was Madame Pompadour who actually said it, or maybe it was someone else, but the fact is, it's attributed to Louis, and it's stuck because it perfectly encapsulates the attitude of this man-child king. When questioned about his reckless spending, his foreign policy disasters, his incompetence at home, and his utter contempt for the common people, when confronted, in other words, about what was going to happen as a consequence of these ruinous actions, Louis reportedly replied, "Après moi, le déluge." After me comes the flood. In other words, when I'm gone, nothing will matter. The world could be swept away. The slate of French glory swiped clean. What does he care? He came, he saw, he destroyed, and after him comes the deluge. Who cares? Now, I don't know about you, but it seems to me that this pace of scandals and crises piling up on this man and his court is ruinous, and it's accelerating. One catastrophe after another, the waves of the deluge breaking higher and faster up against the city on the hill. And what I'm seeing everywhere in America is a kind of hopelessness, a lethargy, a fatalism utterly alien to the American mindset. I think it's disaster fatigue. How much can a people take? You cry yourself to sleep at the latest news of tripled health care bills or trading terrorists for traitors, and you wake up thinking things could not be any worse, but they are. You know, back during the Cold War, there was a defensive plan called dense pack. The idea being that if you put plenty of missiles in hardened silos very, very close together, then incoming warheads would be deflected by the explosions of the ones that had come in earlier. Kind of feels that way sometimes, doesn't it? Scandals breaking so fast that they kind of deflect the incoming next one. Oh, by the way, critics of dense pack had a name for that strategy back in the day. They called it dunce pack. And if the rat pack was a bunch of swinging cool cats in sunglasses and loose ties, you know, the kind of look that got this guy elected in the first place, then the dunce pack surely must be the name of his posse. And so with a little less than 2.5 years of new scandals yet to swamp us, let's take a look at what the perpetual adolescent called to do a man's job has accomplished so far. His only real legislative achievement, Obamacare, is the definition of foul-up mismanagement and failure. People did not get to keep their plans as he promised again and again. The website not only failed and kept failing, the dunce pack was told in advance it would fail, but they opened it anyway. And seemingly every day, the boy king waves his fingers and the law is changed by royal decree. And when I say change, I mean delayed. Every time, delayed. Delayed until after this person has gone, because after him, the deluge. Domestically, he's presided over the weaponization of the most intrusive and horrid institution the United States government has ever produced, the IRS. He's authorized the National Security Agency to monitor every text, phone call, and email sent by any American citizen to anyone at any time in direct contravention of our Fourth Amendment rights. He directs his Attorney General as to which laws are to be enforced and which laws are to be ignored, often based on either the political affiliation or skin color of those under their monocle, and the dunce pack approves enthusiastically. He spends money he does not have, about 40 cents on every dollar, to buy things to give to the great unwashed masses in exchange for their adoration. Who ends up paying for all of this? Well, young people, of course, but that doesn't concern him, because after him, the deluge. Now, of course, he can't spend all of those trillions on his own. He needs help. The Wikipedia quote for Louis XV's administrators reads, quote, "Finance ministers soon became expert swindlers, cheating and extorting on a grand scale. The peasants worked till they dropped, and citizens were forced to pay huge taxes," unquote. The flood, the deluge, the sea that's going to envelop all of us when he's gone is actually a sea of red ink. He gives away things he hasn't paid for, and young people will pay for things that they're not going to get. And worst of all, the weakness of this man is doing incalculable, really unimaginable damage overseas, and we're a long way from being done yet. By not responding forcefully in the Middle East, he encourages Russian adventurism in the Crimea. By not responding to Russia in the Crimea, he emboldens radicals to retake in a week or two what took us 5 years of blood and effort in Iraq. And this is just the beginning. Because where he once looked disinterested and then nervous and then scared, well, now he looks overwhelmed, panicked, and confused, and our enemies, from Somali pirates to Chinese nuclear sub-skippers, are suddenly waking up to the happy realization that 11 American carrier strike groups that the president is not willing to deploy is functionally equivalent to 11 American carrier strike groups sunk and at the bottom of the ocean. The wheels are coming off. And when the rest of our adversaries who hated and feared President Bush, who merely hate President Obama, see that our entire military is as defanged as if by an EMP strike, that the sword, however sharp, is being held by an infant, well then, all hell is going to break loose. Not that he cares. After him, you see, after him comes the flood.